Hi, welcome to Culture Shot. I want to focus this week on clarity, specifically clarity of messaging. We often turn to cliche expressions to express what we mean, hoping that they'll be rallying cries, but I think very often they're just confusing. And since clarity is the hallmark of a truly engaged organization, I want to suggest this week that we try and be more precise in what we say, and that we start by ridding our vocabulary of three particularly meaningless expressions. The first one's "my door is always open." I have a real problem with this expression because, let's be clear, it isn't. Or it can't be. If your door is always open, there's no way to prevent your office from becoming a crisis center every time the photocopier doesn't work. You simply can't allow that level of access and still get on with your work. Which means by default your door must be closed. But let's also, from time to time anyway, but let's also deconstruct it, because we're not specifically talking about a physical door here, we're talking about a philosophy. And at its heart, that philosophy is about access. If you want to deliver great access, forget about asking people to come across the floor and come in through your office door and expose themselves in that way. Just get up and get out. The more you do that, the more outside of your own office door you are, the more available you are, the more approachable you'll become. If you achieve that, who cares if your door is open or not? The customer is always right. Look, customers are important. I'm not going to dispute that. I don't want to get into an argument. And I realize that in a way, I'm going to start talking about semantics here because we kind of mean the same thing. I guess we do with all three of these. But the truth is, with that statement, what we're doing is we're positioning customers as overlords, giving them the right to be unreasonable. And I don't honestly see how we can expect to get great customer service when we're creating such a philosophical imbalance between customers and people, the people within our organization. Here's a great story. A few years back, when the financial markets in the United States had a really bad day, Howard Schultz, the CEO of Starbucks, sent a message to every single Starbucks employee saying, listen, tomorrow, guys, people are going to feel a little bit ginger. They're going to be a little bit sensitive. Can we just treat them with a little bit more compassion in the morning? Be a little bit more focused. That's great. There's a reason for it. There's a specific context for great customer service. I think you'll probably win with something like that. Think outside the box. So if you haven't done the 9 dots problem at any point in the last 40 years, do me a favor, go and Google it, do it, get it out of your system and put this nonsense behind you forever. This is pure jargon, which makes a mockery of its own inherent meaning, because what it's really talking about is shaking up the cliches in your go-to methodology. But the cliches, the go-to methodology is often a construct of the rules and the context you've already created for work. In other words, you've built that deliberately. To ask people to think outside of it is probably going to take a little bit more than just a bombastic challenge. Look, let's face it, actions probably do speak louder than words, but they don't have to. And in a results-driven culture, what you say matters very, very much. Make your culture one in which your words have real power. Try that this week. That's your challenge. Have a great week.